right. Everything seems to have gone through. Everything's alive and ready. So thank you guys for joining in. Hope you guys like and share this live. It's going to be a fun one. Cody's going to be back on in just a minute. If you guys are new, my name is Sal, and I'm the other half of Simply Investing. We do a lot of coverage of crypto, real estate, business, stocks, trading, investing, things like that. We have our morning stream every morning, Monday through Friday for market news, and then of course a live every Saturday and Sunday. So welcome back. We're kind of got some breaking news. We're going to switch it up a little bit from what we intended to cover, but man, it's going to be a different one because we want to talk about the poor, the having a poor mindset and how that's going to affect you investing overall and how it actually affects your lifestyle overall. And we're going to go over breaking news: Cesar Pina's arrest on $100 million real estate fraud, and they specifically targeted minorities, and how we got to change that mindset. So we're not having our elders in our communities losing their house, losing their money, losing their net worth, losing everything they've worked so hard for and through so many decades, just to at the end lose their home and starving and everything. And it to me, it's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating to see that, because it only takes is someone to kind of help point them out. But before we get into that too, we also got some fun things to talk about here. We're going to go cover the oyster lady. Oh my God, that oyster lady was mind boggling. I just can't believe that someone did that. But it kind of goes into the poor mindset. And I want to, especially a lot of younger guys, when the economy starts turning south, this is what I mean, not as overly exaggerated, this lady. Yes, El Genti, we're going to go over it, but shout out to you. Thanks for being a supporter and joining in. But this lady, this is kind of what's going to happen going forward as the economy kind of starts to constrict and it gets harder and harder for money to be earned and people are less likely to spend it. So let me tell you, the foodie calls are going to be racking up. They're just going to be racking up. I'm already preparing myself to have people I haven't talked to in like 20 years that look me up on Facebook, reach out to me, talk to me, call me about, hey, can I borrow some money? I got a good investment, blah, blah, blah. But also, this is a time where these scams start. And if you have a poor mindset, if you have a poor man's mindset, it could set you up to lose a lot. Shout out to Cali X2. Glad to have you in here. Welcome in. I hope you have time to enjoy this live. I know you got a family and everything. Shout out to El Genti. She was actually better than the Cheesecake Factory girl. Yeah, that one too. Although that was just really bad dating etiquette. But then again, it kind of falls into the same thing. It's like, and back in 2008, I remember going out on a date with a woman, and I was picking her up, and I just happened to see as she was opening up the fridge, this lady, we were just going to like the boardwalk because that's what you do in New Jersey. You take the 30-minute drive out to Seaside Heights, but she had everything coded. Obviously, she's a serial foodie dater. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just taking you out to the boardwalk, so you going to get some $3 pizza and drink. That's what you're going to get from me. But that was back in the day. But I want to tell you guys, and also women out there, I know, hey, 19% of our audience is women. And this is where you're going to have the homosexuals coming through, the guys that will be living with you and off you and sleeping on that couch, or picking up, coming into your home or your apartment to ease their expenses. So you guys got to be aware, because people start to make decisions, especially with dating and relationships, based on their financial need, especially when the economy goes, it starts to collapse in on itself. Shout out to Cali Kid, but I'm not broke. Hey, as long as you don't have the poor man's mindset, because you could have all the money in the world, and if you still have a poor man's mindset, these simple things like what we're going to talk about tonight can just wreck you. But I kind of want to go and keep it a little lively. We don't want to get too many people upset, because there might be some of you watching from New Jersey that has a family member affected by the Caesar Pina arrest and the Ponzi scheme that was going on. Shout out to Callie. Hello again. Good evening to you too, buddy. Although I guess you're 2 hours behind us, so hope you're having a great day. And I hope you had a great day and you're getting ready to enjoy your evening. Just just saw the video. Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. And you're going to start seeing more and more of these people come into light, more and more scams, Ponzi schemes, frauds, people getting arrested for this stuff. And I'm telling you, fast money equals slow problems. And we're going to try and learn and avoid those. As a former broker and in the financing industry, like that is it's crazy how many people fall for this. I've even seen trained financial people who should know well that not to do stuff like this, and they fall for it. So I just want to let you know, like, if you've ever have fallen for any of these, like for a financial scheme, a foodie call, or you got, or if you're a woman who fell into who started up a relationship with a man who was a homosexual, just letting you know. And I'm not saying homo because we're not homo, but what I mean by a homosexual is this a guy who uses a woman to keep a roof over his head. So basically, like laying down that pipe so they can stay rent free and use up all the resources, take all the money, basically freeload. So, and that does happen, despite what people think. It does happen quite a bit. Oh, well, glad you're wrapping up some details, and shout out to Bitcoin Free the People. Welcome in. Glad to have you in. Thanks for your support. Keep up the great work, my guy. Well, we try to give you free advice all the time. And if you guys could like and follow, and thanks for the support there. I don't know. I think you're rather new. We'll give you oops. Let me get you over here, buddy. I want to add, there you go. So with your support, you have earned moderator status. I need all the moderators we can get. So I'm glad to have you in here. Shout out to Cali. Homosexual is the funniest thing I've never heard before. It's the only way to describe some of the relationships I've seen overall. But we got Cody in here. Welcome in, Cody.
What is up?
We all heard about the oyster lady, but I just want to kind of go through it because it's crazy. I cannot believe that she actually did that. I just can't believe. Like, I am actually impressed. She ate 48 oysters. I can't even let alone eat a few of those. I think oysters are disgusting, but apparently people like them. Shout out to Legenti, Cal at Cali. It's very common, actually. Yeah, it's actually more common the younger you get, or I should say, there's like an age bracket. Like the homosexuals tend to be like between 20 and 25, and then between like 45 and up, and they're almost always broke, or they're always in between the next big thing. So let's just start this. This isn't apparently it has happened in Atlanta. I watched a lot of people go over it, but I have actually never seen the actual video. So if you're on TikTok, I'm playing it live on there. I'm actually figuring out how to link my TikTok to my streaming platform. Having a hard time figuring out. As you guys know, I'm not very computer savvy, but we're going to get into this and go over this. But this is just something that just happens, and I just can't believe that this happened. I just can't believe. Cody, have you seen her actual video, or have you just?
I haven't seen the actual video, no, but I've heard a lot about it. I've heard some people defending the woman. I've heard some people. I've heard a lot.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people going in, but it's only like 2 minutes long, so we're gonna kind of go over it. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I hope you guys can hear it over everything.
Today I linked with this nigga I met a few weeks ago.
Which, by the way, fair use. So, we're calling you out, but we don't even see her face. But fair use, just for YouTube and everything's sake. You put it on the internet, it's up for grabs. Just like anything anyone ever puts up. Shout out to the Giants. First time I heard it, I might have been one in my days. Well, hey, sometimes, but if it's a phase, you live and grow. But sometimes, like, especially when owning a moving company, like, I see them consistently, and I know I pay enough that you should not be in that position, and here they are in that position. Like, how are you in this position consistently? But then I get, like, a couple days ago, I get like 20 letters from family court saying, take such and such out of someone's account. Okay, this got to come out of this person's check. This. It's like, oh, and a lot of times these guys have like 4 or 5 court orders for wage garnishments coming from like 5 different women across the damn country. Shout out to the Real DeVille. Welcome in. Glad to have you in here, buddy. Thanks for your support. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this live. And I hope that you're not in New Jersey or had any family members affected by PINA. If you do, guys, have any questions, let me get through some of the news of it, but we can start taking your questions afterwards. But let's start with the video here because it is hilarious. I can't believe that.
Go out with my friends. This nigga been texting me for weeks talking to himself. Why I didn't block him, bitch, I don't know. But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted.
Now keep in mind, now when she recorded this, I don't know if she went on Tuesday or any other day, but she puts it up here, which made me think originally this was just an ad or a paid advertisement. But Oyster Tuesday, it's $15 a dozen at this restaurant. And she had 4 dozen. So that's $60, but it seems like they went out on like a Friday or a Saturday, which is the most common time for people to go out on dates. And I'm like, I looked it up, it's $28 a dozen. So I'm like, okay, well, that's about $130. Just if they went on a day that isn't Tuesday. Just keep that in mind. It's just
like, can we meet for drinks? And I'm like, yeah, meet me here. They got the best fucking oysters in Atlanta, like hands down. So
I don't even know if I can get through this. Her voice, oh my god, the voice. I've only saw people talking about it, but her voice is just, oh my goodness.
I'm like, yes, I can get some content. Come on, it's so good.
What is it? Oh, she's from the hood. She's putting hot sauce on everything. Everything. What's the point of eating if you're just gonna put hot sauce on everything? You're not even tasting.
Oh my Lord!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Like, I get lemon. I get lemon. That's very common with seafood, oysters, and everything.
Lemon pepper's good, but oh my Lord! I mean, she went
hot sauce. She's from the hood part. She's from the hood part of Atlanta. Oh my god!
She's from deep Atlanta.
I don't even know. I don't really know what she looks like, but oh my god! Shout out to Legenti. Her date walked down her because she was recording with the flash on. Yeah, I could see that in the video. Could you imagine? You're just sitting there trying to have a date and a pleasant experience with this woman.
No woman will put up with a guy with his phone out recording, making her pay the bill, eating 47 oysters. Nobody will put up with that.
This sad thing is this goes on. This is the majority of it. Oh my god. What the fuck is? I can't get over that slurping. That's what it sounds so fake, but I know it's not. It's like, what is? Oh my god! What are you? You're slurping. Could you imagine every oyster just as a slurp? Oh. Could you imagine just sitting there in front of her, next to her?
Like, what the hell?
I'm a big guy. I don't even eat like this. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Just listen to her. Just listen to her.
Sounds like a fart.
You would have to think.
Y'all, when the fourth one came out, he was looking at me crazy. I didn't give a
Looking at me
fuck.
crazy.
I'm like, baby, you invited me out. I'm gonna eat, and I was coming anyway.
I'ma eat.
Keep in mind, this is an appetizer. This is supposed to be shared, and she ordered 4 of them. 4. Like,
I
what
thought it
the
was
hell?
47.
Oh my god.
But I ain't gonna lie. No, I wouldn't have did all that, but I did do all that.
All that.
Definitely from the hood.
And she did all that.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Callie. She had a few extra drinks, potatoes, hush puppies. Oh my god.
So good. I was not
Too.
expecting it to be
It's
that
crazy.
good.
Oh my god.
It was just so good. Like I had to. It was so good. So after that, I'm like, baby.
What the hell is this woman? Is she having a? Is she catching an O off of eating oysters? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
What's next? What I'm about to eat?
She already ate the whole damn ocean. Oh my god! I guess I just can't. Like, if I didn't know the context about this, I'd have to swear this was like a comedy video or something. Cause there's no way.
These potatoes, they were so good. And the crab cakes, everything was so good. 10, baby. Why the fuck this bitch ass nigga?
Shout out to Johnson. We're just going over the oyster lady because like I've never seen her actual video before we get into the serious content. Just kind of keep it light because we're gonna go over the fraud case with Caesar Pina. But oh my god, I'm at a loss for words. I don't think I'm gonna keep going with this video. I just don't think I'm gonna keep going. I mean, this is ridiculous.
She said, "Girl, I just want to eat. Like, shit, I don't want to pay that bill."
Eat like you're eating like you haven't eaten in like days.
She good for like 2 days.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it quits on that because I just can't get over it. Oh my goodness, like she, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and she went there with the intent. I can't go through a lot because she just starts cursing like crazy and dropping F bombs, M bombs, and stuff like that. Not really like angrily, but like you can tell like her vocabulary is limited to that. But man, this is what I'm telling you. You gotta be careful out here because people will like take you out to places they just want to splurge on. And yeah, you in the like from the snap from what I see, she put up another video saying how because people were going after about only leaving an $11 tip, but she put 15 on the card too. But it's like that's not the point for me. It's like the point is you didn't even look up. There's no conversation going on. It was just her eating, just slurping sound. Just sit there for about 30-40 minutes slurping, just slurping stuff. Like, oh, I I couldn't. I couldn't. I wouldn't even say I was going back. I just say I'm out. I'm out. Here's the money for the drink. I'm out. And she was pretty upset that her date left and calling him like a broke N-word, sorry N-word, all this stuff. It's like, but that's not what he asked you out for. It's supposed to be a conversation. It's supposed to be. This is why I say your first date should not be something like this. It should be go out to like a mini golf, miniature golf. Go out to like a board, like the boardwalk if you got it, or something simple, coffee shop. Like you're just getting to know each other. Like you're not really take a stroll somewhere. It's like, but that'd be infuriating. I'd probably flip the table. Oh man! Shout out to Reptile King. Welcome in. Glad to have you in. Glad to see you. I hope you're having a great day too, because I'm having a wonderful day. It's been really busy. Been chasing that bag and everything, and setting up my my appointment to go down to Dallas to start the process on ordering one of my dream cars. So I'll definitely have that picture for you guys. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Welcome in. You kind of missed the lighthearted part of the video, but hey, that's okay. Glad to see you too, Reptile King. I'm having a wonderful day. Just played basketball with my friends. Oh, absolutely. Get that exercise in. I know it's been, the weather's been lovely the last couple of days. It's just been an absolute dream. I've been opening up all the windows in the house and everything, just letting the air come in and out. I love this type of air. You get that brisk night air, and then it's kind of warm, on the high 60s on the day. Shout out to Cali. Flipping the table would be a different TikTok. Then we'll be talking about you. Yeah, that table would have went out through the window. I would have just cut the restaurant a blank check. Just bill me for the damages. I'm I'm done with this stuff. Shout out to Crypto Dream, an absolute dream. Glad to hear it. I hope work wasn't too hard on you guys. What we're talking about today, Reptile King, is Cesar Pina and his arrest. Actually, I want to kind of bring up a better news because I used this for the article for the post on TikTok. So now that we're all done laughing our butts off, let's talk about something serious here. And this is like the Hotep fraud. This guy is Cesar Pina, a relatively unknown person until like he is connected with DJ Envy. But right now, only Cesar Pina has been arrested. DJ Envy has not had any, as far as I know. There's no attempts on arresting, but we don't know any of the details. But what we do know now is that they've been investigating them for a while, because the feds have released their statement, and it's over $100 million in real estate fraud. So I want you to understand, these guys sucked out from the middle class and lower segments of the minority communities, both Hispanic and Black communities. They sucked out, just in the New Jersey area, $100 million. And it's crazy because they were also trying to scam a hard money lender. And the hard money lender was about ready to do $800 million. Could you imagine? And he that bag. He messed it up with him because luckily that guy caught on to the scheme. But
he just looks like a scammer if you look at him. I used to watch DJ Envy when I was like 13.
This isn't DJ Envy. This is Cesar Pina. So
I know that, but I'm just saying,
but I don't understand why DJ Envy would get involved in this, because he has a $3 million yearly contract with the radio, with the Breakfast Club, not to mention all the other stuff, endorsements and stuff that he has. It is absolutely mind-boggling. Shout out to Cali. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Everyone is saying Envy took it. Yeah, there's 20 lawsuits on both Pina and Envy, but Envy's trying to distance himself. And I wanted to kind of bring up another. I want to go over to the YouTube side, kind of bring up also some of the YouTube. I want to show you how you can find out these things from people, because there's certain tells that people do as they're trying to talk to people. And luckily for us, Pina did like all these podcasts, all these events, everything. So we kind of have a track record for this. But I also want to go over some things on that I found out on looking up his identity on one of my background check accounts. So it kind of shows like where this is. Reptile King, who is Cesar Pina? Well, he really is just an unknown scammer. He already in the early 2000s was booked, convicted, and served time on committing financial fraud. And then he gets out, and it's like, I think he got out in like 2012 or something like that. And then it's like 2015, he starts up, he's like working to start up another one. Then like 2018, he starts hitting up this. And there are it's like business after business after business after business. And we're gonna kind of go over that. And it's just crazy because it's like in this day and age, people can look up just about anything. I'm not sure his state, but I know he's in New Jersey. Let's go to New Jersey. Sure, it's there. Okay. All right. So let me go back to this article. So they kind of arrested. He's arrested for. He's been partnered with DJ Envy and things like that. And it's a Ponzi. They're saying it's a Ponzi-like investment scheme, but it is a Ponzi scheme because he was promising high returns for people's investment and then paying those returns with other clients' investments and kind of pocketing and spending the difference. Shout out to Cali. Actually, he was also a real estate flipping business and gives workshops. Yes, they did a lot of seminars, which they were making a lot of money off of. With I think like $500,000-$600,000 per seminar per day. It just to let you know how many people attended. And it was like $5,000 a pop to attend those seminars. So first thing I want to let you guys know, if someone ever says spend money to learn how to make money, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No one who has actual advice is going to tell you, hey, spend $5,000 with me. See, look at I'm so successful, but you got to pay me $5,000 to go learn how to do something. No, that's not how this works. I don't need $5,000 from you to tell you what I'm doing. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing and tell you the pitfalls that I did and hope and just kind of send you out there and hope you avoid them better than I did. Shout out to Do Your Own Research. Welcome back in. Another one of our great supporters and moderators. Go over how to run a business from prison. I don't know. I can't speak on that for you because I've never been in prison and run a business from there. But I mean, I don't think they allow you to really legitimately do that. So, but he's definitely, it's not, the evidence is not looking good for him right now. He is just charged. He has not been convicted. So he's not officially like convicted, but it's like all signs are pointing that way. As understanding financial fraud, this is kind of what he describes. Looking at his history, looking at where the money's going, like I already can tell. And let me tell you, that money, I don't think in this case, usually in a case there's money to recover, but I don't think there's any money to recover because by 2022, his credit cards were maxed out. His credit cards were maxed out, which was crazy because that was the height of the real estate boom. You should have had money coming out the wazoo, but you know, it's just one of those. It just goes to show you where the money was going. Shout out to Reptile King. This is off topic, but you start going live near nighttime because everybody gets home from school and work. We actually really do nighttime lives. We only do it on Wednesdays. And if we do one, this is kind of like just a special event, or we got some unique topic we wanted to talk about. We really do a lot of our lives in the morning. It just so happens that Wednesday I'm free at the end of the day because this is usually I don't schedule a lot of stuff during the day, and you know this is a day where I like to like cook and eat with my family and things like that. Shout out to Do Your Own Research. Allegedly. So, but I could tell you right now, there's some hints that I could tell they're washing the books, and I'll go over that term in a second. But I don't know if Cody has heard about this, but let me go and show you the statement here. Let me share this tab. So here's the statement from the New Jersey real estate investor and online influencer charged with multi-million-dollar investment fraud scheme. And this is the official statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office, District of New Jersey. Cesar Humberto Pina, 45, of Franklin Lakes. Now, if you're not from New Jersey, Franklin Lakes is a very high-end area. We're talking houses average, like your average home is like $1 million. So the house he has is like 4 or 5, and he's in a community where I know because when I worked at Bank of America back in the day and other investment firms, we canvassed a lot of clients in that area. But it's old. I would say not old money, but like you could tell their grandparents had money, their dads had money, the kids have money, everybody's got good jobs, everybody went to good schools. You know, that's the type of area it is. And it's an aspiring area where a lot of people want work hard to get a house in that area because it has a very good school district. Has like one of the highest in the country that sends people to Ivy League school, like kids to Ivy League schools. Shout out to doing research, Canvas by phone. No, Canvas by charity events. Like there's always charity events going on in that area. And it's close to what's called Long Branch. You're like an hour drive from Long Branch, which is like a wealthy beach area. So anyone that has a house in Franklin Lakes and that kind of area, they also have a beach house down in what you call it, down in Long Branch. I'm sorry, my brain I'm just thinking so much right now. So, as alleged in the complaint, Pina exploited celebrity status and social media to develop a devoted following of potential victims, promising returns that were too good to be true. Pina allegedly defrauded dozens of people, of millions of dollars. Our office is committed to protecting the public from these schemes and prosecuting those who lie to investors for their own personal gain. Plain and simple, the defendant ran a fraudulent scheme. They falsely represented the nature of their business and lied about potential investment returns to bilk unsuspecting victims out of millions. Now, there are people, hardworking people, that put in a lot of money into this, like hardworking blue collar people. And there's a guy, so shout out to Tony the Closer. He did actually a lot of lives and videos with a lot of the victims, and they're just regular people. And you'll be surprised that like these regular people came up with 100,000, 200, 300, 400, 500,000 people. We're not talking like they run businesses or anything. They have a regular job that they work not 9 to 5, but really like 10 to 12 hours at. Shout out to AL. How about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin's not a scam, and it's not something that we're covering today, but we do appreciate your support, buddy. If you want to talk about crypto and everything, we can talk about that on our market mornings and our what's in your portfolio on Sunday. So Monday through Friday in the morning and Sunday morning, we have more than happy to talk about it. This we're just talking about specifically this scam, but the poor man's mindset does revolve around how there are a lot of crypto scams out there that do abuse the same processes this guy used, and it's all the same. It's all the same. No matter what people say, it's the same rinse and repeat process. Shout out to do your own research. You have to skip church to talk about Bitcoin. Ain't that the truth? So obviously, the charges are pretty heavy. They don't really go into the charges. We'll have to go to we'll have to go to we'll have to wait till it goes to trial, which is probably not going to be until next year. As you know, they're going to be going back and forth everything. Shout out to Al. Thanks for joining in. Glad to have you. Glad to have you in here. I hope you have a good day as well. Don't know where you're at, but make sure you chase that bag, chase your dreams, and make sure you do your own research and be wise about what you're investing in. Shout out to Terrible Tim. Glad to have you in here. Thanks for the support. Oh gosh, a person with common sense. Run for president, young man. Well, I appreciate the young man comment, although I'm turning 40 in 2 weeks. So yeah, get ready. It's going to be crazy. But I do appreciate you joining in. I love and appreciate your support, and thank you for joining the live. Hope you enjoy it. And after we go over some things, we'll start to take a Q&A session, your opinions and everything. And you guys just invite in, but just beware if you're trying to invite in. Just remember it's we're gonna have a little bit of wait before we get to you, okay? And if I do apologize if I miss your comments, you guys are a lot coming in here, so just bear with me. Just repeat it, and I'll try to get to you guys. Shout out to Do Your Own Research, 5-year campaign. I don't know if you're referring to me running for president, but it would be about right. But I think I got to go another 25 years for that. But these guys, they ran this scheme for 5 solid years, 2018 to right about now. The last 3 months was really the downfall of this. Shout out to Terrible Tim. Nice. You do it. Well, we'll see. We'll see where I'm at in 25 years. I think 60, 65 is a good life, enough life experience to run for president. Let's see here. Let me go over. Where is it? Let me go to YouTube here. Let me just look up because there are some things that you really need to look at before you can really get into it. Shout out to user. I like that username dot. How much money do you think they scammed? Didn't really read into it. From what the FBI reported, 100 million plus. Shout out to doing research. Wait, wasn't Vivek like 38? Yeah, I think he was 38, but I don't feel like in my right now because I'm 39 going on 40. I don't think I have any wherewithal to be applying to run a country, especially one like the United States of America. Like I'd be like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. It's like I know what I can do. I can tell you, I'll bounce the books. I'll try my best to bounce the books. That's what I'll do. But yeah, let me go in here. Caesar Pina. So I might not bring up any of these any of the videos just because we don't want to go over any don't want to miss anything, like crush anyone's toes. Uh let's see here. Caesar Pina podcast. Because there was one good one. While I'm trying to look that up, let me go ahead and pull this up for you, right? So here's his. I'm gonna pull up this. I'm not gonna put this on live either. I'll just talk about it because there is a lot of his personal information on this. That is like and one, if you guys own a business, definitely have a background report. Now I'm not a paid sponsor of Truth Finder, but they have an excellent program for extracting people's backgrounds. I can learn everything about you, even stuff that you say is expunged. It will pop up on here. But I want to let you know, like, you kind of know where the scamming comes because that someone's a scammer because they usually have, I could tell right away these are burner phones. So I'm going to go over his record like a fraud auditor and go through it and show you like what's going on. So like the first thing that really comes into mind when I look up and I see like his phones, because most people have one or two numbers on their background reports, maybe three. But here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 numbers. And these are the ones that come up. And this only goes back 2 years. And that goes to show you how much, like, you get a phone, and these things must last like six weeks, maybe 3 months. You can tell they're all different cities, like Clifton, New Jersey, New Brunswick, Parsippany, New Jersey, Weehawken, New Jersey, Passaic, Prospect, New Jersey. Another one like Heldon, New Jersey, White Plains. White Plains is a blue collar area. Like these are all blue collar towns. Like except for I think maybe one of these might be Franklin Lakes. No, none of them. Then we have Miami, Indian Creek, Florida. Like that's on the outskirts. That's on the outskirts of Florida. Shout out to Terrible Tim. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. And I hope you guys can share and follow. Really appreciate all your guys' support. And also, I do see Crypto Dream in here. He's been sharing us on Twitter and everything. So shout out to you, buddy. Go follow his channel too. He covers a lot of crypto and he has a lot of good videos there. So you definitely go give him a subscribe, a like, and a follow there, and support his own TikTok channel as well. And if you guys are supporting me and you have your channels, I'll support you. You don't even have to pay me to do it because you're supporting me. It's only fair that I support you. That's how I've always done business. If you help me, I help you. That's just how I do it. What also spikes my query, another red flag, is that this guy Pina has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 40 emails that I can find that are registered to his name. Shout out to Terrible Tim, been in crypto since 2020. I've been in crypto since the end of 2021, so right at the end of the bull market. So, definitely, Tim, check out our lives every morning at 8 a.m. We start normally. Sometimes we're late, like 8:30, but we try to do it every morning at 8 a.m. Although tomorrow we're not going to have a live because I have to go out on on a load up for going to Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee for a client. So, and it's a nice full house. So I probably won't be available. But you guys can also check us out on the weekends. Sunday for what's in your portfolio as I go over all, not so much my wins, really all my losses. And we go over what Cody has, where we're thinking. We go cover a lot of your crypto picks, stock picks, things like that. Also, on Saturdays, I do an entrepreneurial live where I just talk about business, starting up a business, doing all that fun stuff. So just stay live, like and subscribe. I always alert you guys when we're going live. So here's the thing with the business. Now we're getting into the business things. And Terrible Tim, I appreciate it. Join when you can. I know everyone's got lives, work, and everything else, but really appreciate you. Any support you can give, and I hope that you enjoy the lives. If you guys, if you like to watch any lives you missed, they're also on YouTube and Rumble, all the replays. So back to his businesses, right? So he's got 14 registered businesses that we know of that come up on this report. So that's a lot. And they're all within the last 3 years. Now, what's crazy is when you look at these, every year in the beginning, somewhere between January and February, he starts a new business. And in December, he shuts down the other business. So what he's doing is it's called washing the books. So basically what happens is you effectively convert everything to cash. So it loses its transaction history. And then the new business starts up with cash, completely different name. So it's effectively called washing the books. That's all it is, just washing the books. So that's like this is the third red flag, but it is a big red flag, because that means there's something fishy going on. Now, it doesn't necessarily denote Ponzi scheme, but it does denote some type of fraud happening. It could be money laundering. It could be, well, it's going to count as money laundering to the feds. I mean, once we see the list of charges, I wouldn't be surprised if money laundering was on there and wire fraud was on there. So you definitely know the postmaster was involved. And for any of you who don't know, the postmaster is the one that has authority to arrest you over wire fraud, banking fraud, and all that stuff in congruency with the FBI. But when they do that, it could be for a variety of reasons: hiding money from a divorce, or a wife, funneling money, doing illegal activities, things like that. You never know. Yes, I'm looking them up on Truth Finder. I do have a paid business subscription. There's a bunch of tiers, so I get a little bit more information than most people. Shout out to Terrible Tim, who's doing this. This is Caesar Pina. So this is just a hunch, because like I said, this is all allegedly. We won't know until they go to trial. Although the charges go through, we start seeing the evidence be reported, things like that. That's when we'll start to know the real truth of this matter. But I wanted to say, like, that does cause a lot. And then he's got corporate filings. So these are all the businesses. And then we have corporate filings. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm not going to stop. It just goes on. I want to try to get to the bottom of this. It's obviously over 50 companies, and that's a big red flag. And I can see each one does not make it even more than like 6 months. So that is shout out to Terrible Tim. He's working the system hard. Holy moly. Yeah, he just So what he's been doing is and these are all 2020 to 2023. Like these are all found in that time frame, or really 2022. So what they were doing with all the free money was that was washing around in the systems. They would set up a business, get an EIN number, file the LLC, and then go apply for a credit card. And they would submit fake documents to do it. So they would get these credit cards. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a legitimate business, there is no way your first 2 years of business you are getting any financing at all. You're not going to get, not even hard money and merchant loan lenders are going to lend you anything. They all ask for 2 years of bank statements, 2 years of tax returns. And if you're a new business, 5 years of your personal tax returns. I'm going to tell you right away that you've been submitting some fake stuff, because I know from getting loans myself what is required. There's no such thing as make the business, file the taxes, file all the stuff, and then get free money. That's not how it works. Plus, now he's also adding on a potential charge of misuse of lended funds, because it has to be used specifically for the business. And as you see, and a lot of people cover it across the YouTube and everything. He spent a lot of that on personal charges. Actually, there's one I was watching Tony the Closer, and he had someone who gave them $20,000, and he literally that within 5 minutes of that call, door dashed out of his account their money, like used DoorDash for his kids, like just a degenerate level of spending. Now, whenever I see stuff like that, I already know the money's gone. Like there's another guy who put in 250,000, and it's like you see like a week later that he's posting that he got a G-Wagon. Like you can see the correlation for it. But we won't really know until the feds go through all the evidence, and because everything's allegedly now, going through the evidence and finding out finding out like the records, like you're seeing his transaction histories on his bank statements. That's the only true way that we're really going to be able to find out about this. Let me just keep scrolling down. Believe it or not, I'm still scrolling through his businesses. Like that's how many businesses he set up. I might have to go through this way. No licenses. Now we're in finances. So when I see finances, these are just chargebacks, liens, and you can't see anything really but stuff that went to court. Shout out to Do Your Own Research. I thought you can't write off a G-Wagon unless you've been in business for a couple of tax years. Well, that's true, but you also can't write off a G-Wagon for a business that doesn't need a G-Wagon. Like I have a moving company. I can't buy a G-Wagon and write it off. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, if I bought a moving truck, an 18-wheeler, some trailers, they're like, okay, yeah, that makes fine. I could write off to $1 million on those. But they're going to look at me, but what does this G-Wagon do for your business? Now, if I was like a investment bank and I had a lot of high-end exclusive clients and we said we bought a G-Wagon, yes, I can write it off. It makes sense. It has to make sense for the business. Like I can't have a moving company and buy a house and depreciate the house as a write-off under the business when the moving company has no relation or do anything with that business. Now I can write off the square footage of like a home office area because I do business there. I'm working there. I can write that off. But I'm not a tax consultant. I can only tell you what my accountant told me, and like there's no way you can do that legitimately. Shout out to Dot No Partners. It was just him that did all this. Right now, according to whatever they're researching, they just went after him. But everybody that's been defrauded from Caesar Pina says that DJ Envy allegedly was part of it too. Like they would not have invested with him if it wasn't for DJ Envy. So, but I mean, take a look at this guy's picture, right? If you look up his picture, if you're on TikTok, but if you're on YouTube, take a look at it. This what I have on the screen here. Does this look like a guy that's going to go down with the ship, or is he going to rat as many people out as he can to save his ass? I think he's going to rat out. I think he's going to spill the deets on everybody involved, and that's and they were on Earn Your Leisure. I wouldn't be surprised if you threw them under the bus too. Shout out to LJ. Can you give a quick recap of what you're talking about? I'm really glad to have you in here. Let's hear Etchy Tunes. Give me a second, buddy. Come back if you're in here. Come back and we'll go live in just a second because I want to go through all this information first. But we're talking about the $100 million real estate fraud scheme that that Caesar was involved. Shout out to Callie, or Caesar Pino was involved. Shout out to Cody. Is Cody on the phone or YouTube? He doesn't have a TikTok. He does
Yes,
have
sir.
he does have a TikTok, but I think in order for him to join live, he has to have 1,000 followers. So he's working up to it. But right now, he's in my streaming platform, so you can see him on YouTube or anything. But right now, he's on his phone, streaming from his phone. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Everybody snitches on everyone in the jam. Exactly. There's no honor among thieves. That holds true no matter what time we're in. No worries, Callie. Yeah, but thanks for your support there. Thanks for chiming in. Really appreciate that share too. Hopefully, we can get more people to share and like the live. Bring as many people as we can in here because I'm sure a lot of people want to talk about it. Shout out to Crypto Chick. Glad to have you in here. We're going over the Caesar Pina arrest today, and I'm going over some of the details, going over what I've analyzed and read as what I've as kind of going through as a fraud auditor and giving a fraud auditor analysis of it. But it's $100 million investment, real estate investment scam. They say Ponzi like, but it really was a Ponzi offering like you told one person $150,000 investment and I'll return you $750,000. $600,000. That's 600% return. There's no way that you're going to do that in real estate legally or legitimately. So it must be a scam. And we're kind of going over the poor man's mindset. And I just want to go over this case before we have open forum for you guys to come in, ask, give your support, ask your questions, or give your opinion on everything because they affected only the Black and Hispanic communities and middle class down. Some people were like producers and pretty wealthy or like upper middle class or upper class, but they ripped out $100 million from the minority community and from some of the poorest areas and hardest working parts of our community. So, and we definitely need to bring this to light, and hopefully we all can learn from this and help take one step to eliminate the poor man's mindset out of our communities. But getting back to it, we have Caesar Pina here. I got him here now. If you're making all this money, and on every podcast, he kept saying, "I have over 800 properties." He has I think he said he had 900 doors on one live. So when we say doors, that's a real estate term to say that's a unit. So it took me a lot of hard work and grit and grind to build a business up and then build another business up to get the cash flow going to be able to get 147 doors. And I only got up to 147 doors because 60 of them came from a property I luckily was able to scrape and get help with my brother to buy. And we still have to fix it up. There's a lot to go on. And right now we're finding out that we gotta fix one of the roofs. So it's looking like more money than we intended. And so we're probably going to have to put a pause on buying any more properties. But is this successful? Driving around a Ferrari, driving around all these exotic cars, Rolls Royce, everything. And here he is. He can't pay a $207.81 utility bill. A lot of you are not from New Jersey. The trash, water, and sewer and recycling bills all come as one. And, he couldn't even pay this at so much it went to collections. So you're telling me you're making all that money, you can't go back and pay off? I know I I had a lot of debts before I started this business, and I incurred a lot when I started this business. But the first thing I did when I started making money, I was knocking those things down. I was paying one off every month. And then as my money grew, my debt started flying off. And then when I got really good money, I just wiped everything clean. And then I started investing real heavy into crypto and everything else. Shout out to Jeffrey Love. Welcome in. Hope you're enjoying the live. Thanks for the follow and the support. Really appreciate that. Now we're going to go on to his properties, which all 800 doors, he's only registered to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties. 5 properties. This is between him and all his businesses. And what's crazy is that if you're in real estate, because I know I have properties, I don't register them in my personal name. I register them in a business, which is then under a holdings company, which holds all my businesses. And then, that's where I can funnel profits into and then pay myself a dividend. Let's see here. I see you guys in here. Shout out to Callie, crypto chick that can't be real. Queen of crypto. Well, love to have her. I did watch a few of her lives. She definitely interested, but I just haven't had time to really sit and watch anybody else for like an hour. I did the other day, and it was definitely enlightening, but it had nothing to do with crypto. Shout out to Leland. What do you think about AI Web3? We'll talk about that Friday morning. Here we're just talking about Caesar and the real estate scam. But we do appreciate you joining in, and give us a like, follow, and subscribe. Shout out. So anyway, let me see here. So I just want to let you know. So now he's got his main house, which is in Franklin Lakes. I'm not going to give the address, but it is starting the foreclosure process, and it has 2 mortgages on it, totaling $3.2 million with a total asset value of $2,380,000. You're going to see this as a running trend. Shout out to Leland. I do like your lives. Well, I do appreciate your support too, buddy. Unfortunately, we're not going to talk about crypto tonight because I do have to get to Home Depot before it closes. I think they close at like 9:00, so I don't want this to run any longer than 8:00 because I do have to pack up and go. But I do appreciate you joining in the live. Hopefully, we can answer your crypto questions, or if you have any questions, you just want to shoot me a DM and I can help you out there. But this main property in Franklin Lakes is over leveraged and going through foreclosure. We got another property this is in Totawa, New Jersey. So do apologize if I get some of these names wrong. I'm even from New Jersey. I don't even know. Shout out to LJ. You better get going. Well, I'm on Central Time, so it's 7 p.m. right now. So we got a good hour before 8:00, and I know they close at 9. But definitely thank you, buddy. The assessed value is 400 on this property is 420,000. Mortgage amount 405, but it also has a lien on it. I see here. I can't see. I guess Cody's having a little bit of issues there, but I'm gonna put up the thing to join in soon. But he has another lien on it, so like the total mortgage value is like over 500,000, and it's like the same thing. Asset value 253,000, mortgage value 500,000. Next one's kind of same thing. 446 mortgage value. So you can tell, like, whenever he got a property, he maxed out the loans and just took it out. That is something that we unfortunately can't do here. Hopefully, give me 1 second. Let me just message this back later. So apologize for that. I'm getting a phone call in here. So you can't do that with your properties. You want to kind of stay no more than 50% of your property value on your mortgage, especially if you plan on renting these out. Because there's no way, if there's a hiccup in the economy like there is now with interest rates rising, you're gonna go through a bad time. So this was clearly, he managed to use some of the money, buy some properties. Unfortunately, only one's going to get money back. The rest, all the money is going to go back to the bank. Unfortunately, the way the bankruptcy laws and liquidation laws work, unfortunately, they can't get money to people who are who have stolen it. And he also registered some of these people in their names. He registered their names, but it still has him as ownership because the mortgage is in his name off the property. So it's just crazy what went through. But I gotta find. You know what it is? No, this one's a good one. This one's a good one. Yep. So this one was off of the Bootleg Kevin podcast, and it's a good one to kind of go over. So we'll hear it. Sorry, let me speed through these commercials. I do not pay for YouTube. Okay. I'm going to show it on screen. So shout out fair use, but also go like his channel. It's Bootleg Kev. Go like his channel. Go subscribe. He's got 304 subscribers on there. And, this is his podcast, but I want to kind of showcase how he was behaving on the podcast. So I'm going to show it real quick here. I'm going to share it. If you see here, anytime someone's telling you a story and telling you how they made their money, how they succeeded, or when they're explaining something, and you notice this a lot in toddlers. It's a human tick. So people just look down. I can't mimic it, but it's like they look down, eyes forward, like enough so that you can't really see their eyes. You see just like really their whole bottom eyelids, and they're kind of going down. That usually means I think I'm guilty. I think I'm guilty, but I don't want you to know, or I'm hiding something. I don't want you to know. Because like toddlers, they look down and to the left and they look away from you. And they're trying not to make eye contact. Oh, bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and answer this real quick, but hold on one second. I'm going to go back and hide this. Yes. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. All right, sorry about that. It was, office is still running, taking calls. Shout out to Debbie. Let me in. I want to debate you. You can come in if it is about what we're talking about. So go ahead and put in the request again, Debbie. We really appreciate you joining in and the support. Hope you're still in here. I don't know if you are, because I kind of had to answer that quick question. I don't think I see you in there. Or that's top viewers, but send the request again, Debbie, and we'll be happy. I'll be happy to debate you. But as you can see, he's kind of like looking away, looking to the left, looking to the right, looking down mostly. And it's, like, and when you see this too, like I'm showing you right now, when you see this and you see like they're looking away, like they're looking at you, but looking away, and they're looking up, that's usually someone contemplating, usually thinking, contemplating, trying to figure something out. They're trying to come up with something in their mind. So some people do it like you see a lot of kids when they're taking tests, they're thinking, they're always looking up like what's going, like, trying to run it through their head. But now these are just subtle cues and body language, but like every time he talks about how he's making money, how his business is doing, how he's so successful, he keeps looking down. So with that said, though, I think we're pretty much done. I mean, we covered most of it. I mean, anything else is going to have to be from the live, from the court and what the filings are. So if you guys want to come in, I'm going to drop in the link for you guys. And until someone joins in, we're going to talk about the poor man's mindset. So Cody, are you still there? Shout out to Do Your Own Research. He's checking his 100x long BTC stop loss. Shout out to Terrible Tim, 10K likes. Good job. Hey, really appreciate all your guys' support. Hopefully we can keep sharing, keep liking. And if you guys do want to come in on TikTok, just hit the request to join. I'll be happy to bring you on. Or if you want to switch over to YouTube, I dropped the link for the streaming platform so you can kind of come in and, one guest at a time, and we can talk. You can give your thoughts about this. Unfortunately, this is just one of those things that it affected the community. It affected the minority communities, the Black and Hispanic communities, as well as like the lower middle class and the lower class of Americans, because it kind of came with this miracle hope. Like I usually refer to it as hopium. It's like you come to it with hopium. Shout out to Terrible Tim. What's your tab? Our YouTube tab is Simply Investing 6638. The link is also in the bio of TikTok if you want to join in. The link to the YouTube, which will bring you right to our page, and you can join the live and hit the link and join in. Really appreciate having you in. You don't have to cam up. I won't put you in, but you can still speak your thoughts. I just want to just kind of bring it up that they hit hard because they offered hopium. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome, Tim. Because the hope of making so much money. And it's always a thought of everybody that wealthy people have, like everyone calls it the plug. It's not the plug. There's nothing secret. There's nothing. What it is just steady acquisitions, slow growth, slow and steady, and it takes years. Now, if you get it, like I'm like 20 years younger than the average millennial. I am born in 1983. I'm going to turn 40. I worked about 22 years from 18 till now trying to bring it up there. I don't know if TJ309, if you wanted to go live, just go ahead and hit the accept button. Or if you have a business and you want to give your thoughts on your viewpoint on it, because I know a lot of people are business owners, have a different mindset and everything. So definitely share your thoughts. But it's like that hopium is so scary because, like, I understand it. I never grew up without. I can't tell you what it's like to live a life of, a tight budget, hardship, and everything. Because, if I didn't get something, it was simply because I didn't do well enough in school. My parents decided, like, if you want this, then you got to get straight A's. And that's how my parents were. Straight A's. They always reminded me, you have to be the best of the best. Cream de la creme is going to get the winnings of this world. And that's how I was raised. And it was this one thing after another, growing up, constantly reaching to be the best and everything. So I don't know what it's like to be without. Did your parents teach you stoicism? Shout out to Do Your Own Research. My dad kind of did, but not like directly, but he kind of showed it through his actions. So, because my dad's very stoic. Like, his emotions don't really show, like, especially when he's angry, frustrated, or upset. It never shows. The only time I've ever seen him upset was when my mom took the station wagon. This was like 35 years ago. I was maybe 6 at the time, 7. I remember it distinctly. And they brought the car in. They didn't do a good job fixing it, and he was just laying into the mechanics and everybody because he knows how to do a lot of do-it-yourself fixing, which back then most adults his age, which he was 46 and the most of them, they knew how to do their own stuff. So they're paying for the convenience because it's his wife that has to do it, and he couldn't do it. So when he came back and the car wasn't running right, I could have swore he was going to throw that car through the window of that dealership. So, but he was definitely, I learned indirectly stoicism from him, but I never read a book on it. But keeping your emotions in check, keeping that stuff in check will help prevent scams and frauds from you becoming a victim of it. It'll also help you make smarter decisions with your money, with things that you want to do. I keep seeing here invite stop loss. Let's see here. Oops. How many people are in here? I don't think I see them in here, but alrighty. But glad to have you in here. If you want to join, I think there's like a little guest icon to join live. I think Cody is having a little bit of a issue with connection there. It seems like he's good there, but he's not. He has no feed, so I guess he's just watching at this moment. But what I mean to say on that is that the stoicism definitely helps because it helps to prevent emotional a loss of emotional control. Because like when you lose $500,000 or $1 million, it's going to affect you. And that's where you kind of have to take a step back. Don't let it affect you. Don't let it affect your day. Because I mean, I know I see people when they lose a million or more dollars. You know, there's plenty of videos online of people crying. They don't know what to do. They're frustrated. They get sick to their stomach. It sucks to lose a lot of money, but I have to stay focused because I can't let it affect how I run my businesses and how those keep making me money. If I lose money, I have to be comfortable with the loss. And usually stoicism helps with that. Shout out to Terrible Tim. Yeah, me too. Exactly. He's like, usually we learn it from our dads. And I know nowadays not everybody has had it, the fortune of having both parents in the home, let alone having both parents not learning as they go. Because my dad definitely wasn't learning as he went. It seemed like he wrote the book on parenting, at least to my viewpoint. And just to go to show you how steadfast and like, I know like a lot of red pillars would definitely say that my dad was like the quote unquote alpha male, but let me just tell you, my dad's just the normal guy, but he just grew up with a good example from his dad and his grandparents and things like that. And what I can say is that he definitely lived by, you know, stoicism, and what now people are wanting is traditional masculinity on there. Like, you know, he just never let anything get to him, but he made smart decisions. And even my mom, who is a card carrying feminist, and she will say all the time, I'm nobody's damsel. Everything that these guys say they want out of women, my mom does for my dad. It's like without hesitation. I mean, even now, so if we're all here and she's like, "Hey, I'm cooking," you better just sit down and just wait for her to finish because she's not going to allow you in that kitchen. She just wants to cook and prepare food for everybody. And from her background, yeah, food is her comfort because she grew up poor. She grew up so poor without the O and the R, and she knows what hardship is. And she always tells you there's nothing like a home cooked warm meal. Shout out to Terrible Tim. A lot of them lose $1 million, then get it back, then lose it again, but they don't give up and eventually make it. Yep, that's it. Shout out to Apple users. Sorry, man, but hex to the moon, by the way. Well, we're not really talking about crypto. We're talking about the real estate scam and the poor man's mindset. But I mean, I don't really think Hex is going to make it, but we could talk all about that on Friday's morning market news if you like to join at 8 a.m., buddy. But if you want to talk about the scam, how has your family ever suffered any scams, or anybody you know? How you felt about it? How do you feel about this situation about Cesar Pina doing $100 million fraud case with so many people? So definitely, if you want to join in live, you can definitely do that, and we can go over it then. Let's see here. I'm gonna bring that because I don't know which one is you, Cody. You might have to close out and then re-enter again. Still don't see a lot. We still have some time. Like Home Depot's only like 2 minutes away from me to get my supplies. If you want to join in live, we got about 36 minutes. So I gotta leave. So let me know how you feel about this. I know I feel pretty crazy,
Can you hear me?
pretty upset about it. Yeah, I can hear you, Cody.
Who was trying to sneak that hex in there? That kind of pissed me off.
It's not just Hex. Everyone else. I mean, there's been a lot of crypto questions, but we'll just have to address
Crypto's
them
fun, but
on the
hex,
morning. On the morning, because this is all about the Pina real estate scam. Shout out to Terrible Tim. I stayed away from her for some reason. One of the few I missed Hex. Oh, stay away from Hex for some reason. Okay, I see what. One of the few I missed. If you made it on that run up, great, cash out. But after that, I mean, it's getting taken off of exchanges left and right. But
It
we can
even
talk
got taken
about
off the Hong Kong exchange.
yeah. Shout out to doing research. If you didn't make 36,000 X on Hex the first time, then you're not going to make the next one. And that's pretty much true. So Cody, I've been talking for a while. I think you've been listening in, but talk about the poor man's mindset and what you think about this real estate fraud case.
Oh yeah, it pisses me off because it mainly targeted people of color, with the mindset and all that, but also too, you know, a lot of people my age, they're just like doubting stuff and they're just fucking around and they're like calling what isn't a scam, and they're falling for the actual scams.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it just takes a little bit of education, but you got to realize scammers target you when you're the most susceptible, when you're low on money, when you're trying to recover, when you're trying to do a lot. That's when they come back.
Oh yeah.
That's when they come hard. And usually when the recession bottoms out or the economy bottoms out or we're in a depression, that's when these scammers and schemers start to really target people. And unfortunately, the lower class of people is going to be the most affected. I see here someone wanting to join. Keep it civil, and we're only talking about the fraud scheme. See here that you wanted to join. We're not really. Well, we're not really doing a match here, but we're talking about the $100 million fraud case.
This
And
isn't yeah, this isn't a debate match. It's not a debate match. I don't know why people think we're doing a debate match. We're not. We're just talking about finance.
yeah, we're just talking about finance and and your opinion on losing. If you want to talk about it, you can definitely join. I'm not sure how to drop this.
Yeah, we're not one of those uh bait ragers.
Let me see if anyone can tell me how to get these off. Oh, here it is. Leave match. There we go.
Start the match.
Hey, but you're gonna if you don't want to talk about the case because we're not gonna do. You could speak your poor man's mindset, but let's So guys, I do apologize. There we go. Finally get off. Begging shout out to Do Your Own Research. Begging on TikTok is not a get rich quick scheme. Yeah, that's true. Shout out to Crypto Caddy, Sal. What you doing? Thanks for joining in. I don't know. They just wanted to invite, but we're probably not going to invite anymore. Let's just make sure you go hit the guest thing, and if you want to join in live, we're talking about the poor man's mindset and the $100 million fraud case. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Is she even real? She probably wasn't. That was probably all fake there.
AI.
You're doing battles now. Not really. I just don't know how that system works. So, but if you guys want to join in live, let me know. I can invite you on, or I know that you can come on the guest side. I can hit the guest icon on the bottom right, and you can join in. And it's like more like Cody's right. It's like unfortunately, like the minority class, like especially Black and Hispanic, are so easily targeted, and they fall into the prey territory of the scammers because they are working hard. Some of them are working so hard they feel like they can't escape their situation. So that's where these scammers come right in. It's probably lagging a little bit. I know right here in my office, we're switching from DSL lines to fiber optic. So it's been going in and out all day. So it might be me. Shout out to Do Your Own Research. World poverty is a good reminder to not mess up your opportunity in life. Yes, because there's a lot of unfortunate people. Like all you got to do is go to the country of Zimbabwe and see how a collapsed economy has affected everybody. Like it's terrible over there. But there's going to be more and more. This type of scam is going to happen more and more. I know $100 million is a lot to all of us, but in the grand scheme of these types of Ponzi schemes, I mean, this is the iceberg. There are going to be bigger ones that are going to be coming down here. That through the pipeline, like you're going to see 200, 300, 500, $7 billion scams, and we're going to be surprised at who gets charged, because you're going to be like, oh man, I never thought that person was doing that. But back to kind of this case, it's like my thoughts on it. Everyone, DJ Envy definitely can't say he's not implicated in this because he's everywhere. He's on Pina's Instagram, on Flipping NJ's Instagram, more than Cesar Pina. And I think Cesar is the fall guy. I just think he's the fall guy, but I also know he's going to crack under the pressure of the feds. I just know he's going to crack. Repeat offender and a bigger case, he's staring down life in prison. And especially now, if he did this like 40 years ago, he would have done maybe 5 years in a white collar prison. But after Bernie Madoff, anyone who's doing a Ponzi scheme or a financial fraud scheme, they just we're looking at like 60, 70, 80 years or life sentences. Just, they're making sure there's no hope you're getting out of prison. Your life is done. And unfortunately, there's just so many people that are affected by it. I see someone wants to join in. There you go, Callie. Welcome in. I know he's going to be joining. It's going to be coming up in a second. Welcome in, Callie. Glad to have you on.
Thanks. Thought I'd just jump in real quick.
Yeah, what you got for us? What are some of your thoughts on the poor man's mindset and the fraud case?
Well, I definitely agree with everything you're saying. A lot of the people were either Black and brown people, and a lot of them were just trying to get ahead. A lot of them wanted to invest and would go to some of the seminars or just listen to him, to Envy, about investing, trying to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I listen to a show once in a while, and I know people would be, on the show saying, I want to attend your seminars. I want to get ahead. I want to do better for myself and my family. So, yeah, it's kind of sad to see that they, a lot of them got swindled, or that, I mean, that's a lot of money that
Yeah.
somebody touched.
If you haven't watched out, shout out to Tony the Closer, What Happened to Common Sense, and JT Pocket Watcher. They've been following these guys for the last year, and like these are regular people. Like you can go see Tony the Closer's videos where he talks with some of the victims, and they were kind of giving him information. They're just like, one was to a married couple that one worked at UPS and the other one worked at the postal service, and they worked hard, and they came up with like $130,000 to give into this, and that was everything they had. And now they're losing their house, they're losing everything's like they might be going into foreclosure. It's tough. And I've never been in a situation where like my parents couldn't put food on the table, but I can only imagine, especially as a man, your family's sitting at the table and you barely have enough food to eat. You don't know where you're going to get the money for the light bill. You don't know how you're going to keep the roof over your head. You don't know how you're going to keep everything going. Like that is pressure. That is, I mean, you're going to be reaching for anything. You're hoping, and like I said, that's where hopium comes in.
Yeah, definitely. That hopium, people were hoping to better themselves, and it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, and it's so unfortunate.
The thing is that I know Envy's been doing it for a long time, and he's had his seminars and stuff. So you really think that you're going into a business that's legit, or you're investing in something that's really legit, because he has been doing it for a long time, and he's talked about it a lot on his radio show. He's promoted it, and there's been a lot of people who have been able to move ahead. So, a lot of people went into it thinking, okay, well, this is legit. We're going to invest our money. And then this other guy, his partner, we don't know the full story yet, but they got swindled.
Yeah, it's just a terrible situation. But they were making $500,000-$600,000 per event that they were hosting. Like, it was crazy how much money they were pulling in off of this. I think it was like $5,000 for a seat at those events. And then they would bring people to booths where other course sellers and things like that would be there to offer more. So it's like and I'll say this, folks, like the best advice that's going to help you build anything in real estate, business, investing is generally something you're not going to pay for. It's generally something like, you got to look, if someone's like, if you are overly how should I put it, like if they're overly flashy with wealth, like they're flexing a Rolex or a diamond encrusted Rolex, or they're, you're talking about they're in like some sports car or something like that, or that they're they're flexing a lifestyle, they're most likely, unfortunately, they're earning their money off of the courses.
Thanks, Crypto Game, for the gifts.
Absolutely.
Those are my first gifts.
Absolutely. We appreciate all your guys' support. You got anything else for us, Callie?
Well, it's tough. Like I grew up poor. My parents, my dad would work 2 jobs just to, for a little bit extra. And so I know people work hard. You get that. I've seen it personally. I know a lot of people who do also. They did a good job of hiding the fact that we were poor and stuff. So we always, we didn't think we needed stuff, but I definitely saw him work 2 jobs and work, extra hours around those times where like Christmas and things like that, our birthdays, so that we could have, some gifts and stuff. I mean, need a lot, and we didn't get a lot, but we were okay. But now thinking back, I see the hard work and stuff, and so I know people, invest a lot of money, can invest money into hoping to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, definitely glad to have your thoughts on here. And if you guys want to come on, just feel free to hit the guests to join in. I can definitely add you in. We can share our thoughts. But thank you, Callie, for coming on. It's definitely like, especially since he has the exact opposite of my upbringing. So he's seen his parents worked hard to help bring him to adulthood. And I know my parents worked hard. I'm not discrediting anything my parents did, but they were able to work to the point where I didn't have to see the struggle bus going. So I know that they both were like, both my parents, one's from Princeton, one's from MIT. They definitely had to work to pay those off, especially since my grandparents definitely did not donate any money to help their cause to getting into those schools. They got it on their grit, determination, and merit. So they just planned out their life. They were just planners. So by the time I came along, they were well established in their life, and they owned their townhouse, and they were able to live within their means and still provide a great childhood for myself and my brother. So I have to give a lot of love and shout out to not just my parents, but everybody in my family that kind of helped bring that journey together. But shout out to you, Callie. I know it's hard coming on live and talking about this stuff, but no judgment here. And Callie definitely has a great mindset to have nowadays with what he wants to do and accomplish.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to invest. And I mean, it wasn't something I grew up with. You know about it, you hear about it, but you don't really, unless you're really kind of used to that mindset that you're talking about. It's not something you think about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm trying to get in. Well, I've been into crypto a little bit now. I'm trying to build my bag, do some investing in other areas, and trying to teach my kids too to really show him, hey, this is you got to invest, you got to look out for your future.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely have to plan for your future. If you're any of your young guys listening, like if you're in your early 20s, like that's the perfect time to start that grind and build yourself up for your future success, because your sacrifice in your 20s will mean so much for you when you become 40, 50, and 60. You don't want to be like, exactly. And you don't want to be like because I have a lot of guys that work for me that they refuse to admit it, but they have to work till the day they die. And it's very unfortunate. And you don't want to be in that position. And unfortunately, the poor man's mindset kind of keeps us in there. But let me give out a few shout outs. Shout out to Callie. Send him all the support and love. If I haven't really followed him. I don't know if he does any videos, but if he does, definitely go out and check him out.
Yeah, I'll probably start making some videos. I just haven't created content, but
yeah, absolutely. I know it's busy when you got family and kids and things like that. So I definitely understand. I certainly understand that. But thank you for coming on. We really appreciate that. And shout out for Calvin Hill. Welcome. Thank you for the support. Glad to have you in here. Thanks for the follow. Also, shout out to Mike. Thanks for your support there. Really appreciate you. Shout out to do your own research. What's your stance on paying for mentorship? I don't think you should have to pay for it, but you will have to. Well, you're kind of going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it by working with somebody. So, like, I paid for it by working with working with a very well established guy in real estate and business. And like, I was basically his errand boy, kind of coming, go get the dry cleaning, go get the suits, do the schedule, go pick up cars, get coffee, get lunch, taking notes in meetings, things like that. That's a good thing to have. You have to pay for it with your time. But if someone's saying, I will mentor you if you pay me 10,000, that is bullcrap. That's bullcrap. I don't care what anyone says. Like, You shouldn't have to pay money, especially when you're trying to make money. Like, that's counterintuitive. Shout out to JP. Glad to have you in here. Shout out to JP. JP, do you know why Allergrand's contract is zero? I can't answer that one. I know Cody can, but right now we're talking about the poor man's mindset, and we're talking about the $100 million fraud. But if you'd like to join, hit the invite. Bring it in. A shout out to Crypto Rican Queen. I'm asking the same question. Yeah, I'll have to cover it. I'll have to cover it on the live, because this live we're just talking about uh, Caesar Pina getting arrested with the $100 million fraud, real estate fraud scheme, and the poor man's mindset. But we really appreciate you coming in. You can follow us in the morning for the crypto market news, where we talk all about crypto, stocks, business, and everything. We can answer those questions there. But we do appreciate you coming in. I know we don't normally do lives this late, so not quite your guys' fault, but we're happy to have you in here. But if you want to share your opinion about the poor man's mindset, escaping living paycheck to paycheck, has anyone ever gotten in your family been a victim of like a Ponzi scheme, a fraud scheme, financial scheme? Share your thoughts. Hop on. And if you want to come on to our streaming platform, you can hop in onto YouTube and hop in on there. We got about 15 minutes left, so I definitely got a few more that we can definitely there we go. I hope I didn't disconnect him there. Oh, no, he's still in there. Okay. Just want to make sure. If I actually do something for you guys, just let me know, because technology is not my thing, so I get a lot of things wrong. But really appreciate Callie being in here. Happy to have him in here. I want to make sure everyone gets a chance that's coming in or is new, or because this subject is near and dear. A scam, a financial scam that targeted minority people and some of the hardest working, the middle class, lower middle class, and lower class, hardworking minority people that are working the jobs that no one wants to work, and putting in hour after hour of hard work to earn those wages to hopefully have a better life for their kids and their family. This is just unfortunate, because this scheme is destroying a lot of dreams. It's they if anything's going to make them hate an American dream, it's when financial schemes like this happen. So if you guys want to join in live, I definitely appreciate you, and we'll have you on. But like I said earlier, unfortunately, like, we're going to see more and more and more and more and more of these scams just come to light. Like, there's real estate scams happening all over the country, and it's crazy how much money. I think the Fed said like about $600 billion gets funneled through financial fraud scams, which is crazy. It just keeps going on and on and on with it, and it's like, it doesn't seem like there's an end to it. Shout out to JP, man, dude. I woke up a little late in my 30s, but I'm pushing for greatness. Hey, sometimes I kind of missed the boat, I feel like, in my 20s, and I didn't really start my journey until like 29. But as long as you start that journey, your 30s, you're still time. You can still make it. Just got to be a little bit smarter, a little bit more conservative. You might have to sacrifice a little bit more for a little bit longer, but you will get there. And the best thing you can do for yourself is also make sure you get a financial advisor to help build your path to where you want to be for success. Shout out to Callie. Sadly, in these times, we're going to see more and more scams. Yeah, and they're going to come. Like, I think the days of the lottery scam is over, but we're definitely going to see like new scams coming out. Crypto scams are going to come back. Ponzi schemes, investment schemes. You're going to see a lot of people saying, invest with me. I guarantee I'll get you 100x on your property investment, 10x on it. Like, look, I'm not trying to make 10x on a property. Like, look, the property is for cash flow, and I might double in 30 years what I put into the property. I like slow, long-term, consistent gains. That's what we're looking for. That's what gets you there. And it was a 22-year journey for me, from 18 to coming up on 40. It's a long journey, and there's no shortcuts to it. And it's like oh the age old adage always rings true. Fast money, slow problems. Shout out to Dream. It's wild that the same scams work and people do them because they work. Well, it's the same method, same everything, but at the same time, like scammers know when to target you, and when you're down and out, that's when they hit you. And even some of the smartest financial people get hit hard with it. Um, Shout out to Reptile King. I'm watching the NBA game and listening to you. Hey, gotta watch that. Watch those games. I haven't watched much sports lately in the last 5 years. It's just been so much grinding and working on these businesses. And I'm even now. I'm at the point I do the videos and I don't get to watch it a lot. But at some point, I would like to get some box seats for the Giants. I know I'm a Giants fan, New York Giants. We're going to have a losing season every year, but it's just the fun of it. And maybe one time, because I never have sit courtside at a basketball game, I'd like to be able to do that one time. Shout out to Cali. Yep, time in the market, not timing the market exactly. Just as long as you dollar cost average in, you'll probably never have a problem. And it's even if you try to time the market, you're going to make like 70% less than if you were to just dollar cost average in over a steady term over steady years. So, but the thing is that if there's young guys watching and you're in your 20s, you got to be hitting that financial hard. And you're coming in, unfortunately, especially if you're 18, 19, 20, fresh out of college, fresh out of high school, you're coming in at a bottomed out economy. So there is a great opportunity, but with that great opportunity is going to come great sacrifice. And you're going to have to sacrifice, spending time with friends in your 20, wasting, doing events and things, and you're going to have to really, really, really hustle. Don't spend your money on frivolous things. Make sure you're putting your money into places wisely. Don't buy a fancy car because you got a promotion. Stay with that used jalopy that you have that you have no payments on. Because the best thing you can do in your 20s, especially towards the end of your 20s, is have no car payment. Like get a car loan, pay it off, or do a 5-year term if you're 20, 21, 22. But by the time you're 26, 27, 28, have that paid off so you can work and hustle the next 4 years with no car payment. Like when I had no car payments because I had paid off my Corolla and I bought my Camry in cash when I was 27. Yeah, 27. Like it was the end of, I was turning 28 at the time. When I bought that cash, I had no payments. My car expenses were $95 a month for the insurance on 2 vehicles. Like I had nothing. No car payments. I owned that car. And it was such a liberating feeling when all I had to pay was utility, car insurance, and rent. Shout out to JP. How old are you now? I'll be 40 in a few more weeks. A couple more weeks, I'll be 40. So born in 1983. So I know I look young, but I'm getting up there in years. I definitely feel it's starting. So, but definitely glad to have your support in here. I guess we're going to kind of wrap it up. I don't see anyone like adding in anymore, wanting to join, but really appreciate all your guys' support. This is definitely going to be a case we're going to be watching. Definitely going to be posting about it because it's definitely important. If you haven't been affected by it, hopefully you can see the lessons and learn and try not to fall for these. But just remember, it's not the you that's being smart about your money right now. It's you that made a bad decision, lost a lot of money, and that's when they're gonna hit hard. Shout out to Crypto Dream. I keep thinking about the richest man in Babylon and the great salesman in the world. It's so great if you can get a grind going early. Absolutely, definitely get those grinds early. Shout out to JP. Don't look 40 for sure. Yeah, I just lucked out in that department, but I'm sure one day Father Time will catch up with me. Shout out to do your own research. What do you think about real estate tax lien investing? It's good. It's like there's properties I want, and I know that that I know that they're going to fall behind on either the mortgage or taxes. And usually taxes is the first thing that people stop paying because you want to pay the mortgage, not the taxes. And the taxes sometimes take 5 or 6 years to accumulate before they repossess the house. But it's definitely an opportunity. But then again, there's also a lot of costs, a lot of renovating, a lot of things that go into tax lien investing. Because if they can't afford to pay the property taxes, most likely they couldn't afford the upkeep of the home. But there is opportunity because I know there's a house in a gated community with a guy whose business went bust in Northwest Arkansas, and I want it. And I'm just waiting until it hits that market because I know the liens are coming. Shout out to Cali X2, awesome topic. Lots of people put their faith in others or trying to make some bank. Exactly. And the thing about the Caesar was it's his appeal to the minority communities was I'm in the street, I'm from the streets, I'm about the streets, and I've made money. I'm going to show you how to. So that's how he brought a lot of people in there. And look, I never saw anyone in business moving the money that I move, dressing, behaving, and talking like those two. I'm just saying. Not and Black people, white people, Asian, Indian, Hispanic, they don't talk like that. They're educated, they're articulate, they're not talking in colloquialisms, they're talking straight English with the facts and the details of what they're doing. Shout out to Crypto Caddy. I buy tax liens. Actually, come to think of it, so shout out to you. Obviously, she dabbles in tax liens, so she might have a good answer for that. But come to think of it, a lot of businesses have bought a lot of properties, a lot of real estate funds and everything. And they might give those properties up and say it's easier just let the county take it back into tax liens. So, and just let the thing foreclose. So just keep that in mind. That'd be some good like rental properties, rental complexes. If you're at the level where you can get rental complexes, that's definitely gonna be a good area. But we'll have to see how things go because those are very slow moving things. So usually if something's kind of already coming to market off a tax lien, it probably was like 3, 4, or 5 years ago. And unfortunately, I don't think the investors on this $100 million real estate scam are going to get their money back because they spend it all. Like he spent $10 million on cars, just cars alone, which is crazy. Like a Rolls Royce, there was 2 Ferraris I saw, 2 Lamborghinis, a Cadillac, the Mercedes. I think there was another Mercedes. Oh, and the thing that got me the grace about this scheme was the wife, his wife was on an interview with a newscast, and they themselves said, what was it? What was it? Oh, sit tight. We got you. We're going to pull through with the money. That pissed me off. I'm not even going to lie. That pissed me off. Shout out to Do Your Own Research. Yo, you should ask Tom Cruise if that guy is in the Rolls Royce Club app. Yeah, right. But it pissed me off because she's like, sit tight. We'll come with the money. Don't worry. And it's like there's people, their marriages are collapsing, their houses going into foreclosure. They can't put food on the table, but sit tight. We got you. And she just she redirected every question. It was like, I don't know about that. You got to talk to Caesar. I don't know about that. But the most horrible thing though is in New Jersey, the feds can't go after his wife. Because whether she knew it was a Ponzi scheme or not, whether she knew it was a fraud or not, whether she knew anything at all, unfortunately, there's an old, I think it was what's called Blue Book Law on there that no matter what the husband did, the wife cannot suffer the husband's consequences. Meaning you can't put the wife out on the street or in jail because the husband was running a scheme, even though she was in on it. So kind of like with Bernie Madoff's wife, people are like, how did she not know? I think she knew. She may not have known all the details, but she knew. but she walked away with $3 million because she had a lifestyle that she was living that he provided, even though it was with fraud. So New Jersey is kind of the same thing. They're not going to take away her lifestyle. So even though they're scamming, and it's hard to think about it, like $2 or $3 million is going to come out of the whatever money they get because they're legally obligated to have to maintain her lifestyle, the trustee, and that's terrible. And she should be, in my opinion, she should be in jail along with him because the way her mannerisms, her eye contact, how she was enjoying, like if you look at her Instagram, she's enjoying life way too much. She had to have known that that was a fraud. She had to know, especially since she already knew that he was already convicted of fraud. Shout out to Do Your Own Research. So SBF's mom is going to keep running scams. No, they were in Florida and California, and they have no such law. So if you knew, they're coming after you too. So luckily for that, his mom, if he does time, his mom's going to do time right with him. They're going to have to share a commissary fund. It's only New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut that have that. Every other state's like, nope. You knew your husband was doing this. You're going down. You going down. You're going down with him. Shout out to Do Your Own Research. What's that? If you're referring to a commissary fund is just, relatives and family members and friends can give like good behavior inmates the ability to buy like Hostess snacks and stuff like that. That's what that is. But unfortunately, I think she's going to get Caesar's wife is going to get away with this scot free, unless if the laws have changed. That case with Bernie Madoff was like 10 years ago, almost 5 years ago since he was convicted, or 6 years ago. Excuse me. So they could have changed the laws because of that, because I know that pissed off a lot of people, and this one wasn't as big as his. His was like $65 billion. This one was only 100 million, but still, it would piss me off if I knew someone had to have known that they were doing the fraud, and that's how your lifestyle is paid for, and you benefited from my hard-earned money. I would be frustrated. I know a lot of people would be frustrated. I'm surprised no one's like picketing at their house or anything, because like they did interviews with the press at their house before and after, and they post pictures all about their house and their lifestyle. That would infuriate me. You're living in a mansion, and here I am losing the house I scrimped, saved, and earned with my sweat, blood, and tears. Like, oh, I'm not even gonna lie, I'd be smashing stuff. Shout out to JB. What scam? We're going over the Caesar Pina scam. He just got arrested for $100 million real estate fraud. I see someone else wants to join in. Do your own research. Bringing you in. All right, I guess you think a little time. How's it going, buddy? Welcome in. What's your thoughts on the poor man's mindset in this fraud case?
What's going on?
How's it
Nice to
going?
meet you. Terrible. I have to read more about it. What's like the best news article about it?
Well, the one that details it enough is the letter from the New Jersey attorney's office. But actually, if you want to go to a YouTuber, what happened to Common Sense, he has like 3 lives that are like an hour and a half long, showing everything about this case, like every detail along the way for the last, I think, 6 months. But you can also go research, like if you type in Caesar Pina arrest, all the news articles pop up on Google. Trying to see here because I know it was the local. I think it was the CNBC News. It's hard to know what local stations with, but there was a couple local stations in New Jersey that did a lot of coverage on this. NBC New York. NBC New York.
I can tell you about.
Absolutely. Well, just to bring up to speed, basically he was running a real estate Ponzi scheme for the last 5 years and stole $100 million and ran out of money in the last couple months, and that's when everything kind of snowballed to where it's at now. But what are your thoughts?
Oh man, I gotta read more about it. I don't, this is the first I've heard of it.
Oh, okay. No problem. But we could talk about the poor man's mindset.
Like fractionalized, is it like fractionalizing real estate in some way, like, or is it like a REIT or something, or?
No, it was basically this was the pitch for the scam. Oh, you invest 100,000, 150,000 with me, I will return in 8 months 750,000 to you off of flipping this property. That's it. That was the scheme.
But were they part of the deed, or were they part of any documents that they owned some share of some entity, or
nope, nothing?
It was. I mean, he was playing on complete ignorance then. Like, people didn't even get a lawyer to read the contracts.
Nope. They didn't. Nothing was read. Nothing. And people put in like upwards of $1 million and didn't read anything or get a contract. There, even some of the properties that were discussed, he wasn't even affiliated with. Like, they were never up for sale.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's due diligence, and then there's like, I don't know. That's not even not doing due diligence. That's like, are you even Googling what you're doing today? Like, I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to you right now because you're probably in the position where your mindset is like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. But when these scam artists come for these people, they're in the worst possible position, like lost job, lost money already, trying to get money back in the later stages of retirement and trying to close that gap to where they can retire when they want. So they fall prey to this. Like, man, if I give you my nest egg now, I can triple it, quadruple it, and then I could retire and get out of this rat race. That's kind of my thought as to how people are thinking. And that's unfortunately how they fell for this scam.
Yeah, I guess I can tell you where I was sort of, I guess I did the same thing. I'd rather admit that I didn't, but there was a crypto thing that I've involved in where, like, there hasn't been a bankruptcy, there hasn't been a lawsuit yet between the creditors and the investing firm. Like a Voyager, like an FTX, like a BlockFi. There was this thing called Orbit, AUBIT, out of England, and they changed their name halfway through to Freeway.io.
Okay.
And it was it was sort of like Celsius, I guess, in terms of, like, they were taking people's money, you were staking it with them, they were creating a derivative that you would earn an interest yield on, and then you thought that it was a DeFi platform, but what they were actually doing is, like, probably selling the Bitcoin, putting it into Forex, and then trading Forex or something like that. I'm still trying to find out exactly what happened, but, like, they were promising a 40% APY.
Oh, wow.
And basically, as the market went down, they said they didn't have the money anymore, and they had to pause withdrawals. And they haven't said that they're bankrupt, like they haven't closed everything yet. But then what they're saying is that we still can't unpause withdrawals because there was, like, the custodian of the money, like, did something that was with impropriety, and, like, they basically have a third party who is custodying the money who lied to them. So they're starting a court case with some other third party, and it's like this web of BS, basically. And so I am a party to that. I didn't put much money into it because I only put as much money as I trusted, but I wanted to watch it and see how it worked and see if it was actually going to be something that was going to be good. And it turned out that it was sort of like Celsius, I guess, in terms of they weren't. I don't know if it's ever going to be found out if they were paying people out with money from new investors, which would be a Ponzi. I don't know if that's really going to happen, but it's an unresolved thing. But it is one of these kinds of scams that, you know, even though like the tokens that they created, like you can find it on CoinMarketCap under FWT. Freeway token was their token that you you can buy the token and stake it, sort of like Voyager's VGX token. It was sort of like a what do you call that? I forget what you call it, but you know, the same mechanism.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Like I'm in the middle of like waiting for this platform to unpause withdrawals, and basically what it seems like is they're waiting for Bitcoin to go back up to 40K, and then they'll just liquidate the thing. I think that's what's going to happen. But, it was interesting though. Like the one way that they kept me on was when 3 Hours Capital went bust and Celsius went bust, Voyager went bust. They went live on Twitter and they were like, no, we never did business with 3 Hours Capital. None of our money ever went with 3 Hours Capital. They approached us to invest with them, but we turned them down because we looked at the terms and denied it. Refused it. So like, I was like, okay, so they saw through the 3 Hours Capital scam. So I was like, okay, maybe these people are all right. But then as the market kept going down, they lost everybody's money basically. I think so. It's like this. I wish these platforms would just, I wish they would just make the rate variable. So it's like, oh, we're in a bear market. We're only going to pay you 0.5%. We're only going to pay you, zero until like the market gets better. I feel like in that respect, maybe they could come out honest. But they're just like, oh no, we have to pause withdrawals because we can't pay you the 40% APY anymore. And it's like, But the thing is, like, I have participated in DeFi where the APY fluctuates and it didn't lose my funds. So it's like I didn't get back the APY that they said they were going to pay me, but I was able to get my money out and they did pay me something. It was just less than they were supposed to. So it's like, that's better. And I didn't lose my principal on that DeFi. So it's like, that's where I'm like, maybe these people that everyone's condemning real DeFi, and it's like the real DeFi that I've used, like they didn't lose people's money and they're still going even through this bear market. It's still a functioning platform, and it's like, yeah, the advertised APY has not been paid, but they didn't lose people's principal.
Well,
so, like,
that's good.
That's like a thing that's like, there's no documentation. There's no way they're going to show you their sauce. Like the cook isn't going to show you his recipe.
Yeah.
And that's the part of it where it's like, is anyone ever going to trust any of these things ever again? Because all that they do is they submit a document to the SEC that says that they're not a security. And then that's it. Good luck to you. And like, if you try and call the phone number, if they have a phone number listed in California somewhere, they're not going to pick up. So it's just like, that's where the rub is continuing to be in this industry. In terms of like, there's going to be more of these that, it's just it's like a bank, I guess. It's like sort of like a banking product. Like you're saying, oh, invest this money or it's any kind of investment product, I guess. And it's just like, they're never going to really tell you how they make their money. And maybe that's the problem is like, anytime you see an investment opportunity, you have to really see how they make their money. And if they're not going to show you, then maybe it's not worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you did exactly what a sensible person should do. You tried it out. You only put the money in that you were willing to lose, and if you lost it, it wouldn't hurt you. But it looks like you got it back and got a little bit of profit back, which is good. Unfortunately, it sounds like. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's not on pause yet. On Freeway, they're still tying their funds up in this court case with this third party. I haven't got the money back on that. But the problem is, I would never put six figures into this thing into a black box. So that's where you're talking about people that put six figures into a black box, and it's like that. I don't see any reason to ever do that.
Yeah, but you'll be surprised if you've worked all your life, you're coming up on 59, you want to retire at 69, you're tired, you're exhausted, life got you down, and here this opportunity, this alleged opportunity comes along, and says, "Hey, I can help you get to retirement. I can help you live that life." And the problem was people always like to invest with people that look like they're themselves or come from their areas, and that's where scammers kind of draw on that. The real good ones draw on that, and they unfortunately cause a lot of harm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you saw the video. There was a guy who knew Bernie Madoff. He was part of the same country club, and somebody interviewed him. Like they found him at his house in New York, some like penthouse type condo, whatever, in probably the Upper West Side or something. And like some journalist or some influencer, like found a guy who knew Bernie Madoff, and it was like, yeah, everyone kind of knew what was going on, but we knew him and we knew what he was doing, but like, they didn't like blow a whistle because they were just part of a society or part of a community there. And like, so yeah, he was doing the same thing. He was probably, going after all these people in his country club, like that had money. And there, have you seen this guy on TikTok? Maybe he's gone now, but there was this guy that was like this fake mafia guy that he was literally teaching con techniques out of like mafia style. Have you seen this guy? I don't know if he's gone.
Oh, I have not. Oh, wow. No, I have not. I haven't seen that. I haven't really paid much attention to it.
Goodfellas / Sopranos style character, and he would make videos on TikTok about kinds of confidence scams, and it was entertaining. Let's just say that it was entertaining. I don't know what that guy, like, he sort of tried to be like, oh, I'm ex mafia, but like, it could have just been an actor. But, it was pretty entertaining though.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being on, do your own research. And it goes to show you, even sometimes companies fall for scams too. It sounds like that's what happened with that crypto company, where they went with someone they thought was going to help earn money on top of that and be able to give good yields to their clients, and they can return a good profit too. But sometimes the yields, if they're too high, sometimes it's too good to be true.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever meet those people, though, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind, because they never said anything in any of their AMAs that they were going to invest people's Bitcoin into a Forex trading
Exactly
scheme. Like that's where I'm like, you guys, how do you sleep at night? Like, where's your family? What does your family think of you? Are you like, how can you even show up anywhere? Like, how can you, like, how do these people go to restaurants, right? How do they go to Thanksgiving or Christmas? Like, I'm just like,
it's unbelievable. It's just some of them, they're able to ignore the guilt and just ignore it. So a lot of people gets to them. Like, if you like the Caesar Pina, like the last year of interviews and videos that he had, you could tell it was bothering him. The stress was getting to him. Something was eating him up, and that was probably the sign that the scheme was coming to an end. And you could see the circles in his eyes. He was worried. He wasn't sleeping. I could tell right away he wasn't sleeping at night.
That's interesting.
And it's just something you pick up. I used to do fraud auditing and financial audit, so you can kind of see where people start to worry, people like what's affecting them. So, but keep your head up. Don't I hope you learned your lesson from that, and really appreciate you. Do your research. Thanks for all the support, and thanks for coming on. And I'm about ready to hop off.
Like, all that I can say in summation is, anytime you're trying to make an investment, break it up into like 5 payments or 10 payments, like, and that becomes a dollar cost average strategy, where it's like, even if you think something's great, don't put all the money in the first shot.
Exactly.
Don't do it. Wait.
Exactly.
If it starts to go up, then you put in more. If it starts to go down, then you don't put anything in, or you take it out, depending on how far it goes down.
Yeah, absolutely.
I talk to people about money. They're like trading or anything, and it's like, and I say, oh, I don't put money in. I don't put more money in unless it's starting to go up. And they're like, you don't put money until it goes up? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm like,
yeah.
Jesus. Slowly but surely will help people. But anyways, yeah, you have a good night.
You too, buddy. Thanks for coming on. And Shout out to Callie. Take care, Sal, and all. Got to get going. Thanks for the great live. Hey, thanks for being on, and thanks for all your support. Shout out to Knowledge. Welcome back in. Glad to have you in here. What's your easiest business that you have started as far as financial? I'd have to say the easiest investment was construction. But I invested with someone that knew the construction industry, knew how to get the clients, already had the clients, already had 15 years experience, and we just kind of went from there. But I would say the most successful business I had from the ground up has been my moving company. Uh, I started it with very little money. Very little money compared to some other business ventures I did, and it just took off. And luckily, I had the boon of the last couple years, and I really ramped up things and was able to expand to a point now where everything is settled in. So, but I would say moving was probably the best. It was the easiest business to get into financially, the hardest business to scale up because I had to do all the sales and do all the physical moving in the beginning. Shout out to JB. DJ Envy was not arrested. It was just Cesar Pina. Shout out to Callie. I'm out. You made 15K today. Yeah, we made up to 15K likes. Really appreciate all that. Thank you guys for all your support. I gotta head out, go pick up some stuff for supplies from Home Depot for my teams tomorrow. So really appreciate you coming in and sticking with this. It was a long live, one of our longest. We were over 2 hours, but really appreciate all the support and everything that you guys are giving us. Hope you can like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Simply Investing. 6833. Give us a subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers there, and like and subscribe here. We're trying to get to 3,000 followers here. But also, if you want more content and get the videos that come out every Monday and Friday, and you want to get the pre-release of them, you can join our Patreon. Link is in the description and in the bio on TikTok. Also, I know it's taking me forever to edit those videos, but keep in mind, guys, the videos are fire. They're with high net worth individuals that really helped grow and build this, build their net worth. And I was able to sit down with them for a good hour or two with them and kind of pick their brain and go over a lot of their experiences, a lot of things they talk about, things that help make them successful. So it's taken a while to edit because I do have 3 businesses I'm running, like my property, my real estate portfolio company, my moving company, my logistics company. And then I got to sit down with everybody I invested in on businesses, and kind of every day is just busy. And I just don't have much time to edit other than maybe like 30 minutes to an hour every day. So bear with me. Those are coming. I'm going to get them all up. It's 6 episodes, so it's a lot of footage, a lot of things that I'm trying to go through and put up one at a time. But those will only be on Patreon. They're never going to come to YouTube until season 2 comes out. And I'll put season 1 on YouTube, and season 2 will start on Patreon. But I really appreciate all your support. Shout out to Crypto Dream passing out. Thanks for the live. Yeah, it's coming late, especially you've been working all day. It kind of sucks because I know everyone's getting tired. I'm getting tired. But I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your support. Remember, do due diligence. Ask the right questions when presented with an investment opportunity. Make sure you do research on the actual person you're doing business with. And also make sure that you never invest any more money than you're comfortable losing. With that said, guys, thank you. Have a wonderful night. Have a great night. Get some rest. Chase that bag tomorrow. There will be no live tomorrow because I'll be out on a move tomorrow morning, but we'll have our normal live on Friday. So thank you guys. And thank you, Jeremy Tapp, for the follow. Really appreciate that. Getting in at the last minute. Thank you guys, and look forward to seeing you on Friday.